President Trump has spent the day attacking Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, calling him a dictator and deepening the rift between the two leaders. His attacks came after Zelensky, reacting to U.S.-Russia talks in Saudi Arabia from which Kyiv was excluded, said the U.S. president was living in a disinformation space governed by Moscow. Please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. Let's continue now. Trump's accusation, posted on his social media network Truth Social, came just hours after Zelensky accused him of repeating Russian disinformation.
Президент Трамп з великою повагою до нього відносимося як до лідера народу, який ми дуже поважаємо, американський народ, який нас постійно підтримує. На жаль, живе в цьому дезінформаційному просторі. Я вважаю, що Сполучені Штати Америки допомогли Путіну вийти із багатолітньої ізоляції. І тому я би хотів, щоб було більше правди у команди Трампа. Бо все це впливає точно на, точно не позитивно на Україну не впливає, а впливає на те, що вони виводять із ізоляції Путіна. І я думаю, що Путін і русські, вони дуже радіють.
Trump and Zelensky's relationship has been fraught since Trump's first term in office, when he pressured Zelensky to investigate his political rival Joe Biden and his son Hunter in a phone call. Speaking in Florida, Trump called Zelensky a dictator, just hours after using the same word in a Truth Social post about the Ukrainian president.
He refuses to have elections, is low in the real Ukrainian polls. I mean, how can you be high with every city is being demolished? It's hard to be high. Somebody said, oh no, his polls are good, give me a break. Every city is being demolished. They look like a demolition site, every single one of them. And the only thing he was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle. He played him like a fiddle. That's an expression we use, yes, sir, to say that he's pretty easy. A dictator without elections.
The U.S. and Russia agreed in Riyadh to appoint high-level teams to negotiate the end of the war and said they were working to reestablish diplomatic channels. Putin on Wednesday praised the Trump administration officials in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for having fostered a very friendly atmosphere. Unlike past American administrations, he suggested, the Trump team did not criticize Russia's actions. Putin said, speaking to reporters while on a visit to St. Petersburg, on the American side, there were completely different people who were open to the negotiation process without any bias, without any condemnation of what was done in the past. Putin looked forward to a meeting with Mr. Trump but declined to give a date, cautioning that there was still a lot of preparatory work to be done, including on the Ukrainian track. He said, I'll be happy to meet with Donald. We haven't seen each other in a while, but we're in a situation where it's not enough to meet, just to have tea or coffee and sit and talk about the future. Trump told him in their phone call last week that the United States expects that the negotiating process will take place with the participation of both Russia and Ukraine. Mr. Putin said, no one is excluding Ukraine from this process. Trump has made it clear he wants the war to end as soon as possible, even if it means further territorial losses for Ukraine. The U.S. was one of Ukraine's closest allies under the Biden administration, providing the country with tens of billions worth of military aid.
I've said before, Russia will not prevail in this war. Ukraine will prevail in this war, and we'll stand with them every single step of the way. That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly.
But Trump has made it clear that he thinks the U.S. should no longer send aid to Ukraine without getting anything in return. Earlier this month, he suggested the U.S. should get access to Ukraine's mineral richest in exchange for aid. Zelensky said on Tuesday that the U.S. has asked Ukraine to give away 50% of its rare minerals without offering any security guarantees in exchange. He said he rejected that idea, saying, I cannot sell our state. Trump also suggested that future security of Ukraine would not be an American problem. This war is far more important to Europe than it is to us, he wrote. We have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. Trump's fixation on the United States being repaid for military and financial assistance over 3 years of war could put a stop on any future aid package to the war-torn country. Ukraine has long been dependent on regular American deliveries of air defense weapons, shells, and other type of ammunition to sustain its fight against Russia. Trump also said Tuesday that Mr. Zelensky's approval rating was 4%.
Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating.
Mr. Zelensky said that was not true. According to the Kyiv International Institute of Sociology, 57% of Ukrainians said that they trusted his leadership. So if anyone wants to replace me right now, that's not going to happen. Mr. Zelensky delivered his comments on the same day that Keith Kellogg, the retired general appointed by Mr. Trump as his special envoy to Ukraine and Russia, arrived in Kyiv for a 3-day visit to discuss possible ways to end the war. Mr. Zelensky said, "Russia is clearly pleased with the turn of diplomatic developments. I think Putin and the Russians are very happy because questions are discussed with them. Ukrainians are not likely to trust promises Russian negotiators offer in talks. Nobody in Ukraine trusts Putin. This behavior from Trump maybe happened because of rejecting his proposal of giving 50% of Ukraine's rare minerals, or there may be another big thing is happening under the table. However, without the U.S., it will be very difficult for Ukraine to fight against Russia." To watch more videos like this one, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular update. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, stay tuned.